You're getting on the freeway! Oh, my cat. I'm sorry, Margie. Love you. But we were getting on the freeway.
Okay, let's see how many of these movies I remember.
What if I haven't seen the movie?
Everyone focus.
We don't really know what's going on, but we like it.
So this is gonna be a long story short.
I like Clueless as if, whatever, you know what I mean? That was the beginning of the bougie.
There are these teenagers in Beverly Hills. They are besties forever. There's Cher. She's the main character.
Her mom died in a routine lipo moment, which honestly I think about like a little too often. I'm like, what if I was Cher's mom and died in a routine lipo moment? So basically Cher and Dion are best friends and they're like fashion icons. They are running the school.
Yellow plaid. What a freaking moment.
Picking her outfit on the computer so she doesn't have to make a mess and pull all the outfits out. Like, I need that right now. Cher's closet is the star of this movie.
So Brittany Murphy, rest in peace. She is a new student named Ty.
Cher and Dion think it's like fun and takes it upon themselves to give her a makeover. And then Ty starts feeling it a little too much.
And Cher was a virgin, and that's what that's what she said when they got to a fight. She was like, you're a virgin, you can't drive. And she was like, oh! And I'm like, that's an insult, but I guess to them, that is.
And she actually ends up falling in love with her ex-stepbrother, Josh. Oh, Paul Rudd.
And she had that epiphany when she was walking. She's like, oh my God, am I in love with Josh? And then the water behind her went,
Yeah, I don't know about that, Cher. That might not be, actually, is that okay? I don't know. I mean, they're not related.
now, if they got married and whatever, the family reunion is still the same family that's there. It's not even a new family that shows up. It's like, hey, your brother's here. Like, no, that's my husband. We got married.
What we're supposed to take away from the movie Clueless is you can fall in love with your ex-stepbrother and people will be okay with it as long as you're pretty and he's hot. He's also like 22 and she's like 16, but it's like, okay.
The Devil Wears Prada.
I surprisingly feel like I know too much about The Devil Wears Prada.
Wait, does Anne Hathaway show her boobs in this one?
Anne Hathaway, she fully doesn't give a about fashion. So she thinks.
Somehow lands a job for this big-time editor for this big magazine.
The rich, high-powered fashion lady, I want to say her name is Marissa Kay.
She gets this job with Miranda Priestley.
And then there's like the other assistant who's a little higher up than her, has worked her life for this. It's her dream, like you can tell.
The first time we meet Emily Blunt, genius! When I pass out, I just eat a cube of cheese. Looking back, a little problematic, but at the time...
But then, doors open, tall, bald head man walks in. Everybody, she's coming! She's coming! Chaos ensues.
Anne meets Meryl. Meryl just gives her this top to bottom judging. Like, we're talking Simon Cowell on his worst day.
And then she literally basically gets like a full makeover in the office and they're like, girl, you need to get your together. You're in like Runway magazine. But it's like slow and like kind of in a friendly, like under my wing way. It's not like you're disgusting, we're changing everything. It's like, here's a shoe, gorge. Like, maybe don't do that, gorge. Like, really, like, nice and slow.
Anne Hathaway had bangs. They were very much inspired by Winona in Beetlejuice. Why are we doing the three-piece bang, guys?
So then Meryl is barking orders at her saying, do this, do this, do this, and she's doing everything. She's so stressed out.
Miranda Priestley is known to be the bad guy in that movie. The real bad guy is Andy's bitch-ass boyfriend. You whip too much. It's me or the career. Okay, bye.
He's like the villain of life. Like, everyone thinks like you think of villains, you think of like Cruella the villain, like Ursula. Like, no, it's the boyfriend in Devil Wears Prada. Like, he just like thinks she's changing and like often like, no, your girlfriend's just getting successful and doesn't have time to make you a sandwich anymore getting home from work. But okay, go off.
Ignorance and selfishness.
Anne Hathaway gets to go to Paris Fashion Week. Come on, this is the dream. She studied all of the names of the important people and whispers it in Meryl's ear. Like that's Bob Boberson from Bob magazine.
They get into the car after Fashion Week or whatever, and Miranda Priest is like, yeah, I'm gonna leave my husband because I'm what? Casual with everything around me.
And she wants to promote her.
Like the girls and gays are crying over this job, I'm giving it to you. And she's like, oh, thanks, gorge.
She goes to work for like whatever, the Boston Globe, blah, blah, blah. Never gets to touch Valentino ever again, has greasy bangs and chooses Adrian Greer. The end, that's the movie. You're welcome.
I love Mean Girls. I saw it in theaters. She doesn't even go here.
Girls can be mean, especially when they're wearing pink. Okay, let me start from the beginning. That was like with Lindsay Lohan. She plays this character who was born in South Africa, and she comes to America.
They come from Africa, but you can't just ask people why they're white. If they're white, right? That's the line. You can't just ask people why they're white.
And she's like never gone to school before.
And she dressed it homeless, and she found the gothic girl and the gay dude, and they were her friends.
I think his name is Damon. Damon, right? Damien. It's Damien. However, I call him Danny DeVito. I love your work.
She comes in, she doesn't really know her spot, and the mean girls, the plastics, are very mean to her.
Regina George.
Regina George punched me in the face, and it was awesome.
Gretchen Wieners.
The fetch girl was bad as like I get married the fetch girl.
And Karen, no last name. I swear Karen does not have a last name.
She was kind of slow, but her boobs could tell her if it was raining currently right now.
Caddy ends up joining the plastics.
And now they planted her like a spy. Now, you know, when you go undercover too deep, now you lost, and now she all mean girl too. They're trying to make fetch happen, but wasn't happening. But it was happening, but Virginia George didn't want it happen.
But then, give it a few more weeks, maybe months, she realizes she's actually not a plastic.
She was like in a math decathlon that she ended up winning.
She wins the award, like a homecoming queen or prom queen.
And then she breaks up the crown and throws it in and is like, this is for everyone.
Oprah with it. You know what I mean? She's like, you get a piece, you get a piece, you get a piece.
Because we're all equals and there isn't a hierarchy in high school. Even though there is.
You know, Regina gets hit by a bus, let's just brush right over it.
Trauma plus the color pink. That's Mean Girls.
Bring it on. Well, it's actually crazy. I can almost quote the entire movie. I'm sexy. I'm cute. I'm popular to boot. I'm bitchin'. Great hair. The boys all love to stare. Did we keep going? Because
basically there's a cheerleading competition at the very end. There's always a competition. There's always something to look forward to with these teenage movies, right?
The Toros, right? And then the Clovers. And everybody is just like stupid freaking hot.
I don't care what this movie's about. Gabrielle Union's in the cheerleading outfit. And I think it's the girl from Legally Blonde. I don't remember her name. Kirsten Dunst.
Eliza Dushku, who is one of my all-time crushes. She tries out for the team, and I don't remember why.
I transferred from Los Angeles. Your school has no gymnastics team. This is last resort.
But we find out the Toros, they're incredible, right? They're like winning all these awards. They're like known to be #1 internationally throughout California. So,
And then they find out that they have been stealing Gabrielle Union's routines the whole time.
They were like, we didn't steal it. And they were like, come on, you guys, you know, you went out there and said, what up, we black. Oh, say we dance. And they're like, you're not black.
Burr, it's cold in here.
There must be some Toros in the atmosphere. I said,
Gabrielle Union says, you think a white girl came up with that? And that's the whole point of the movie. If you're going to take something, credit the original creator.
It's kind of like gentrification in the sense of cheerleading.
in the end, the Clovers win. Gabrielle Union takes it all. Thank God, like, of course she does.
Gabrielle Union is like,
You bring it.
and then Kristen Dunst says,
Oh, it's already been brought. Like, we'll bring it again. Come on.
and then credits. That's the movie, really.
And that's a long story short. I nailed it.
That's really like the whole universe, the whole thing of it all, and you're welcome.
Tell me, you feel like you're in the theater right now.